One.
How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to the Two Summoners podcast. We are officially in season 2 now, episode 1, guys. Welcome back. My name's Corvy, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Papa Pike. How we doing, dude?
You just call me a co-host?
Yeah, we're a co-host. I'm a host. You're a co-host. You're a host.
Wait, so you're a host and I'm a
No, we're
co-host?
co-hosting it. Like we're
Okay,
co-hosts.
just had to confirm that. I wanted to
That's
get
how
that
it
in a
works.
verbal agreement. Just had
Because
to
I
make
can't
sure.
say the host. No, we're co-hosts.
Yes, but no, I love that. Well, guys, yes, thank you. Welcome back. It is split 2. Corvy really. Nah, he did a good job there. I was going to say he underhyped it, but no, he did a fantastic job, as Corvy always does. We're flipping the switch this time, ladies and gentlemen, out there in the esports world. Funnily enough, we're going to be focusing more on being positive to Corvy. I'm not going to be mean to
God, that would
Corvy
be
anymore.
The day, dude. That would be the day.
Positive to Corvy.
I give it like 4 minutes into this interview, less. We're gonna
4
start
minutes.
asking, yeah. Oh well, I guess that kind of like leaks it as well. We're gonna be going into and doing an interview today. As you guys know,
Straight
the
up.
avid LCO viewers, lovers, and enjoyers. We have a new LCO team that just hit the scene. Do you want to give it a quick introduction of who we're going to be interviewing, mate?
Guys, we're going to be talking with Charisma. He is part of the Vertex crew, which is the new team of the LCO. We went and splurged on the budget a little bit this time, guys. We went and said, you know what? We've got a new team. We got to get a fresh face to come stand in and tell us more about how this team's going to be looking. We may even have a couple spoilers about who's on the team, potentially if they feel like revealing it to us. But I already know one because... well, Papa Pike's got an in, and it's not Charisma, but guys, let's jump over and start having a chat with him.
See you in a sec. Thanks for just waiting for... I guess it's actually not even waiting for them. It's immediate. Anyway, we're joined by Charisma. How we going, dude?
Howdy. How are we, gentlemen?
Absolutely
Yeah, good, mate, good. How are you?
Yeah, doing well. Big day, but every day is big in the world of esports. So we're here, we're doing it, ready to go.
Charisma doesn't stop grinding.
No, that's right.
Hey.
So true.
Grind to do that.
Why did
Mate,
you put
like,
stick on that? That is so true. Okay, dude.
Even when I'm sleeping, I'm just like grinding RuneScape wood chopping, you know?
Okay, well, I was about to say, I don't want to know what kind of grinding you're doing in bed, dude.
You never know. It's an open podcast, man.
But a fellow RuneScape enjoyer, let's go, dude.
Yeah.
I've recently got back into RuneScape.
I actually haven't played for years, but it was just like when I
First thing.
Yeah,
I'm the same.
When I used to play Counter-Strike, people would like have a go at me. I'm like, oh yeah, 1v1 me RuneScape wood chopping, then we'll see who's the real man. Like stuff like that.
So since then, you're just like, I need to get my wood chopping level as high as possible. These guys can't use it as a trash talking
I
tool.
can't let them know I don't actually wood chop.
Anyway, man, quick introduction. Who are you? Like everything like that.
Yeah, sure. My name's Charisma. I do operations here at Vertex. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. It's always exciting. I'm getting closer to 30 than I'd like to admit. I'm 28 this year. Been in esports a long time. Back when I was a bit younger, I was a Call of Duty pro, if you want to call it that. I was good back in the day, but it was like only lasted for about a stretch for a year, and then I just wasn't good anymore. Then yeah, so started with an org called Collateral a few years ago. Did just some smaller tournament type things, and then I came over to Vertex and I've been doing stuff with them ever since. And I just gradually across time been taking on more and more stuff. And yeah, here we are now. We've got a League of Legends team, but really Vertex kind of got its real teeth stuck into significant esports, probably in Counter-Strike.
Cool,
Yeah,
man.
awesome.
What about yourself? What kind of games do you play?
I play
These
a
days.
fair bit of League these days. I used to play a lot of Counter-Strike, but I just can't be bothered putting myself through that. Like just to believe it or not, I find that more stressful.
I was about to say that's, I don't know, man. Like League of Legends.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
I mean, you rest pretty easy on League of Legends when you know you suck, so it's okay. But yeah,
that's a good mental.
Yeah, it only works about 50% of the time. And yeah, just a bit of League of Legends, a bit of Counter-Strike. Not a lot more these days. I don't have a lot more time to do anything else besides those two. And when I do, it's not generally a very long time. But yeah, I guess the mainstay is League of Legends at the moment. I did kind of counter progressive. Like we picked up a League of Legends teams, and I found that was a good time to maybe try out Dota 2 for the first time. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, I can't. For safe to say, I won't be going back.
Dota 2's difficult. Like I know the transition, you might have felt it too, from CS to any other game that isn't a shooter is hard.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
Dota makes that way worse. I can't transition and play Dota when I play League of Legends, and people think they're like the same game. They're
Yeah.
not. Dota's crazy.
Yeah, I actually thought like it was the same game. It's just not.
No, it's like there's some weird stuff going over into they chop trees down. Talking about wood cutting, you can like anyway. Dota's a different ballgame. Do you stream, man? I know the answer to
Yeah.
this, but do you stream?
Hate it. I actually hate streaming. I
Hate streaming.
hate it. It's so painfully intrusive.
Yeah?
I used to enjoy it a little bit, but yeah, I just can't be bothered to sit in front of a camera that long, you know.
Damn. Yeah, no, that's true. I get that some nights, but I can't.
Yeah,
I need attention, dude.
I suppose like I suppose like I respect people a lot that can do it. I'm well within myself that I can't do it. I don't enjoy it. I get bored. I can't tilt. Stuff like that. Like so people that do stream 100% respect to me. It's people say it's easy, it's really not. Like you need to give all of yourself to the stream, and I can't do that after a full day of work as well.
That's fair enough.
I've literally just started doing a 1 month down as a full-time worker back in my actual field and streaming full-time, and yeah, yep, that's all I'll leave on that. It is
What a hours.
It's killing me very slowly, but that's okay because I love the grind, and the grind's fun.
Man. And you cast like MCOM as well. That's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, and then I cast on weekends. I cast other nights and stuff too. Yep, every day is something esports or streaming related.
Yeah,
but if you love it, man, I guess that's the old saying. It's like if you love what you do, it doesn't feel like a day at work. So I guess every day is fucking work for me.
Yeah, well, I like probably people. People often assume that Vertex is like my full grind, but I work in real estate outside of this, so it's really
Real estate.
The grind begins
That's the killer.
the grind begins when I get home on esports. So it's been an absolute treat trying to assemble a LCO roster on a very short timeline. Yeah,
We've had a lot of people on that talk about like anything to do with like the players of the LCO, just like getting everyone together. I can't even imagine what it's like to put your foot in the door and like come through not only like managing expectations with ESL, like getting the team together itself and stepping into it. Must be hard, dude. How'd you go with that?
Yeah, it's been really tricky. So like I guess for a timeline context, we found out probably about 5 or 6 days after DreamHack was when we found out that we were going to be in the LCO this split, which I'll let you do the math, but it wasn't that long ago.
No, dude.
No, that's holy shit.
Yeah, and I've chatted to a few different team owners in the LCO, and they're very impressed with the team we've been able to assemble. Considering the circumstances, it's a lot better than a lot of people would have assumed we were going to build. So really excited to get stuck into that this split and see how we go. But it's we're under no false ideas that it's going to come easy. We're ready to have a grind, but yeah, it was certainly a race to the finish line. I'm talking like submitting the paperwork within a minute of it being due.
Can only imagine
all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of paperwork for each player, and
yeah,
it's
a minute. Not even close.
About a minute before our roster lock, I submitted the last piece. So yeah, happy days.
It's like those assignment submissions you did back at like study when you sort of like, oh, it has to be submitted before 12 o'clock at night, like at the time, and you're like grinding away doing the last like bit of that assignment right towards the end, and you're freaking out if your internet fails. I'm sure you guys probably would have felt a little bit of that. Bit of nerves.
I mean, that's where I really come alive back when I did uni, was submitting at the last minute. So right in my wheelhouse.
So
all that long time gamer pressure.
Oh yeah, it just got to be good for my blood pressure.
We thrive, dude. We thrive under that pressure. It's the only
Oh,
time
man.
we can actually get anything done. Otherwise, that's tomorrow's problem.
When I was submitting that paperwork, I just took myself back to like a base race in League of Legends. You know, you just like who can get to the
Oh.
inhibits
Okay,
first.
dude. So with finding out to then talking to whoever you did to get the rosters together, what's that process like? How did you go fielding
Hmm.
players and stuff like that?
Yeah, so that's it's an interesting question. It's kind of um it's a bit of a weird little story. Like full disclosure that Team Bliss are really good friends of Vertex. I think a lot of people know that. And they kind of just pointed us in the right direction of maybe someone. Really, we wanted to build our foundation with the coach. And then our understanding or our belief was everything else would be able to build around it. Because at the end of the day, the coach needs to be able to coach players he thinks he can coach,
Yep.
rather than just throwing you know what at the wall and hoping it sticks.
Yeah, you can swear, dude. It's fine.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where we started with the coach. We got pointed in the right direction of a few different options from not necessarily Bliss, but other guys in the scene as well. And they were kind of talking to us. I was talking to Draku. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I was chatting to him about some stuff, and we narrowed down our coach. And then after that, we proceeded to run 4 nights of 3 matches per night. With a sample size of
Yeah.
about 15 players. And then out of that, we took our preferential list, did our negotiations, and then we came down to the players that we were happy with. And the full context that we didn't want players that were necessarily at the top, but we wanted players that were really close to that level, but with a bit more fine tuning in not just their playing mechanics, but other areas too. We could really grow them into something special, and that's really what the heart of Vertex has been for a long time. That like even back in our Counter Strike days, our team's the second best team in the country at the moment. We've been in multiple international events over the last 24 months, but this team wasn't that not that long ago. Before then they were guys that couldn't even crack the playoffs for some events in Counter Strike, and now they go to national events. It's really the heart of Vertex is that we invest in the local scene and we want to see players grow, so it's a more competitive region all around.
For sure.
So probably on that note, that with our team, it's not just the coach, but we've actually, like a lot of people do, they have an analyst, but we also incorporated a performance coach for this split as well to work on.
Very good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
So the big thing we wanted to focus on heading into this split is not just their in-game play, but we want to be working on how they're taking care of their physical health, their mental health outside of the Rift, if that makes sense. It's things that we really value at Vertex and things that we're really important about. So we want to see these guys working on themselves outside the split and actually having clear goals set, because I think it's easy when you're a competitor to get in that grind set of I just want to be really good. I want to get rank 1-0, so whatever that looks like for them. But what are some other goals, like short term, like in the next few weeks, midterm, like by the end of the split, long term goals? What are all those look like for the individual player? So our players actually meet with our performance coach one-on-one every week, and they discuss things like that and how they're taking care of their mental and physical health.
I love that infrastructure that's been built up. That's really, really good to see and hear.
Yeah, well, we're hoping it works out, but whether we perform well or we perform maybe under what we were expecting this split, irrespective, it's an opportunity for us to grow players in the scene.
Yeah, and also like Vertex themselves, because you're coming in as the brand new boys onto like LCO. If you go in there, you put your foot in, and you actually give it like fans, people, the league, everyone will see that, and it'll actually get you like ingrained in the league quicker. Because I understand it'll be pretty hard.
Yeah, it's certainly been tricky, like navigating that space of kind of not. I play a lot of League of Legends, but I don't understand the top level. I don't understand the macro like coaches and players do, and I've seen these players, like I watch the LCO, but I've never interacted with them. So to actually know, well, who are some guys that have been around for a while that I don't know about? Who are some guys that are just teetering on all that stuff has been very confusing to wrap our head around. Jamie, our owner, actually knows nothing about League of Legends. He's never even touched the game. So I had to explain to him what an ADC and a mid and a support and the jungle was. And he's like, there's 2 people in the bot lane, but nowhere else. I'm like, yes, Jamie, that's how the game works. It's been really interesting, but I'm a dirty support main. I can play mid. But I just have fun playing support, so
Mate,
I'm
if you have
Okay,
fun
well-
playing support.
Yeah, I wanna get to, let's deep dive into this. Like, what do you like to play in support? Like, this will tell us a lot about your character.
Yeah. So when I first started playing, when I started actually grinding League, last year I started with Leona.
Cool.
And that was cool. I didn't mind Leona. It was easy to learn. Like you can hook through minions, stuff like that. Like there was nothing really too tricky to learn about Leona. And then my mate was like, "Well, why don't you try Nautilus? He's fairly similar. He's almost a little bit more versatile." And
Hook a minion.
yeah, hooking minions, accidentally hooking walls and pulling myself into team fights and all that jazz. Like,
That's
yeah,
good.
just all the good stuff. And then when I finally started to wrap my head around Nautilus, it was amazing. So much fun. Loved playing him. I still love playing Nautilus. Like he's my comfort pick. If I'm ever looking to have fun on League of Legends, I'm playing Nautilus because he's just that much fun to me. And the more I kind of learn about League and the way I play personally, the more interesting Nautilus gets because it's so cool to see so many different ways he can be played. And I loved seeing during the MSI Nautilus mid, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
Well.
The worst pick ever. I hate. Look, Nautilus play. I play Nautilus support. I've played AP Nautilus mid.
Yeah.
This tank Nautilus mid and someone like Faker just makes me sad. But that's
Hey,
just
have you tried playing AP Nautilus in the jungle?
Yes,
No,
Now
it's rough. It's fun, but it's rough.
now that's lit. Nothing like a big fat boy coming from the river just to hook them. So I love Nautilus. Then I started branching into some different sort of supports. Like I was like, oh, okay, I kind of got my idea around hook champs. I hate playing Blitzcrank, funny enough, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Why?
So then I started to learn Morgana. Morgana was really cool. Loved that.
Yeah.
Then I started playing Senna. Senna was really cool.
Senna's different. Very different
I have a lot of self-respect. I won't play Yumi.
Thank you.
Stuff
Amen.
like that. Yeah.
Amen.
And then the last one, the most recent one I've started playing, and I joke about this with my LCO boys, is like, I love a bit of Vel'Koz, bit of the Cos.
Yeah, bit of the cause.
Yeah, I've been trying to drill it home to our mid laner. The Vel'Koz mid is a viable pick, and he's missing out. He's-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been tough received. I said it during one of our team meetings just before a scrim, and I got told to shut up by the coach. So yeah, but we're starting the revolution here, boys. Even the greatest revolutions in history were met with poor responses to begin with. I just feel like I'm really starting something,
Because
Vel'Koz
Well,
mid.
if I can give a little bit of
cause.
if I can give a bit of backstory into why Vel'Koz mid isn't good, the greatest Vel'Koz player in the world has literally abandoned the champion.
Hey,
He's literally left, saying Vel'Koz is in such a bad spot, he can't be played.
hey, mate.
So,
Even Jesus
look-
was rejected back in his day.
Well, look, here we go. Here's the deal. If you guys whip out a Vel'Koz mid in LCO, Corvy, what can we do?
Dude, this man just said he's Jesus. I play the cause. I'm Jesus of the League of Legends era.
Hey, man, someone's
There's a
gonna
lot
wear
of charisma there.
Someone's gonna wear that badge, and I'm him.
He's him. Oh man, I want to bring it back. We
Bring
went
it
on
back.
a tangent. I want to bring it back. I was goddamn gravitas a boom now, but so I was in charge of not in charge, part of the people that were doing the grassroots for gravitas, doing all that. The players, we actually hosted a stream for it, and we ran through all those practice games and had like 50 something different players on different kinds of teams. Basically, had a tournament of just potential players we wanted to have on the gravitas. Yeah. I understand how difficult it is to pick people from that. And one of the things we looked for is, and it resonated with me when you said someone who's not like perfect or like the exact player we want. We want someone that's kind of almost tipping that edge and they have coachability to like mold into like a good team environment. When you said that, it kind of made it super interesting to me because I don't know who your coaches are, but I would expect that there's someone that we've seen in LCO before.
I think you'd be wrong. I think without
Ooh.
being 100% correct on the historical context of everything, yeah, you're probably gonna be wrong on that one. It's his first opportunity to coach LCO.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Mm.
Our analyst has been involved with that same role in the LCO before, with a different team. They're no longer in the league, but I think you'll know who I'm talking about when I'm able to mention it. Uh,
When you're
and
able
then
to, you can say it
yeah,
now.
You
well,
can say it now.
It depends when this is going live.
Well, this usually goes out on a Friday, so if you want to say it now, again, we're not live, so you can say when can you put it out, and we can wait.
Okay.
But at the same time,
Well,
you give
if
me
we-
a day. I'm
if
doing
we-
it the day before, so we get all the viewership.
If we put this podcast out Saturday, I'm happy to tell you what's going on.
Saturday morning.
yeah.
Saturday morning?
Friday
Yeah, Saturday morning's
2:01.
fine. Saturday
Alright.
morning's fine. So our
I
coach
think I'm
is
happy with.
our coach is going to be a guy by the name of Styled. He's
Oh
No
shit!
shot!
yeah.
Holy fuck!
I know him.
Oh, we love Styled.
We do. I know you guys have casted him in MCOM. So Styled, and then our analyst name is Medica. He was with Peace at one point.
Yeah.
And then our performance coach will rock a few people. We're going to be bringing in Hysterics Cast.
Oh,
let's go.
fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, because I know he's been trying to get into more of the
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
back end of the scene and stuff too, because me and Hysterics, we know each other quite well because we're both casters, so we talk about that sort of stuff. Not
Yeah.
often, not as often as I'd like. But
I'll
I'm
be
planning
honest,
on getting
boys.
him.
Yeah, I'll be
Huh?
honest. He's been an absolute game changer for our team.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff he's been doing, like I said, with those one-on-ones has been really impressive.
That's good to
Um,
hear.
So, well, I mean, if we're going out on Saturday, we may as well reveal the whole team, right?
Okay, but you
Fuck,
can't say the
dude.
support because I think I know the support.
Okay. So our
I'm gonna
top lane is going to be a guy by the name of Tomasino. I'm not sure if you've heard of him.
Oh.
He's really mechanically gifted, and he's just one of those guys with a bit of fine tuning. We think he has the opportunity to be a really good player.
Mhm.
In scrims, he's looking great in scrims. He's really sticking it to some guys that have been around for a lot longer than him.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, so he's been doing great. Our mid, I think you guys will know this guy too. A mid player by the name of Chirp.
Okay,
good
he
pickup.
finally got in.
Finally, that's a really good pick.
So
You guys are-
boys,
you're
believe
set.
me when I say Chirp has been styling on people in scrims.
No, he's good.
He will be. He will be.
He's been smurfing in scrims. It's been really cool to see. Our jungler is a guy by the name of Brown. He's a Chinese guy. He's doing university here in Australia. He doesn't have a lot of English, but man, he's funny. He's so funny. And he's currently sitting around rank 5 OS at the moment. So he's climbing, he's grinding. I think
He
Chirp's
knows.
sitting around rank 8 OS at the moment.
Yeah, he's high.
And our ADC, he won't be playing week 1, but we've bought out Dante from GZ.
Ooh, okay.
And
Okay.
then I'll let you guess who our support is, and I'll let you know.
I'm pretty sure I know, but I'll let Corvy make a guess.
Well,
he actually
you
knows
told
too.
me.
I told him. Nah, then don't guess. It's Rosie.
It is Rosie. Rosie is coming back to the LCO.
Yes.
We're really excited to have Rosie on board. He's been an absolute game changer for our team.
Yeah.
Bit of experience, a stable voice. We're really thankful to have him on board. He's been a great mentor to some of these guys. But I mean, for a guy that's been around as long as he has, his willingness and his ability to still continue to want to learn and grow on his own game has been absolutely impressive to me. Like, I've never seen anything like it with a guy that's been playing.
I like this
esport
roster,
title.
man.
Yeah,
Oh,
for a
it's a
guy that's
good
been playing an
roster.
esports title as long as Rosie has, and he still wants to grind, it's really impressive, man. It's really impressive. So we're excited to have all those guys on board. Dante is fingers crossed he'll be right for week 2. So we'll see how we go, but it's looking like week 2 he'll be in. So we're really excited. So Styles going to be playing ADC for week 1. You guys have seen him play in MCOM, so I think he plays on a team with Chirp. No, I believe so. Or
I think he does. Yes.
yeah. So he'll be playing. He'll be playing ADC just for week 1 while we sort out the little details with Ground Zero.
Far out. That is actually such a good. One thing I want to highlight really quickly. You mentioned how Rosie's been in the scene for so long. Do you know Rosie like headlined Chiefs when they first came about?
Yeah, well, do you know what the most embarrassing part for him is? Our whole team has gone, man, I used to look up to you so much when I was a kid.
Oh god. So he's just like, thanks, man, with his
Yeah,
Fucking
frame.
boomer.
Yeah, so Rosie and I are the same age, so it's been really funny, like all these guys like saying, "Oh man, I used to look up to you so much."
That's so good. It seems like a pretty good atmosphere as well. How's the team coming together?
Mm.
How are they working with each other?
Yeah, it's been really good. Where the guys are grinding, the guys are giving it their best. I mean, nothing ever comes easy, as I'm sure you guys are aware. Nothing
Mm.
comes easy, and especially in the LCO where it's such a tough competition.
Mm.
No teams are pushover, so it's the guys have been grinding. The scrims are looking good, but at the end of the day, scrims are just scrims. They never tell the true story of how things will look on
Mm.
game day, and we're holding no false illusions about that. So it's been interesting. We're loving where it's at, but like I said, these guys have such a willingness to learn and
Mm.
grow in their own game. It's really impressive. So they have one-on-one meetings with the coach and with Hysterics on separate occasions
Mm.
throughout the week, and they're all really accommodating to that. And it's really cool, man. We're just so excited to be in the LCO.
Yeah,
It's some
honestly,
it's
yeah,
something
I'm getting a
I've
good
been wanting to do
energy,
for
man.
years. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting a
Well,
real good energy.
yeah, check in with me when it's like week 6, and we'll see what the energy's like. But right now, we're loving life.
You turn 30 a little bit early. You get those gray
Yeah.
hairs coming in.
That's right. That's right. But I mean, like I said to all the players when we had our interviews with them before we signed them, uh, we're not here to make up numbers. Uh,
Mm.
I think it can be easy to fall into that thing where like, oh well, we're not expected to do well. We can just kind of be here and that's good enough. But we're not here to kind of fill the numbers. We want to be a competitive team, and I think we've got a
Mm.
competitive team.
Mm.
I think that's the big thing too. Like you're going in with what seems to be like a really strong mental about the whole tournament too. But even coming in as like the underdogs too, you've sort of taken that stance of where Bliss was sort of at. Like when Bliss first joined last split, they came in, everyone's sort of like, oh yeah, like decent roster, like they've got some good players. Let's just see how they go. And everyone sort of doubted them pretty heavily. Like I can admit, like me and Corvy also doubted them, putting them at like 5th, 6th seed, like to go into that. And then they just came out and just started cleaning up. So I think you sound like you're not even doubting yourself, which is awesome to hear. You're going in with feeling positive about where you're at, and even if you don't get the result, you're still looking to the future rather than focusing on like the now, which I think is fantastic. So mate, I'm all for you guys being in.
If
I think
we
that's
if we have
awesome.
even a vapor of the same greatness of a split that Bliss had, I'll be happy. They did incredible, and I'm proud to call those guys really good friends of us. So yeah,
Mm.
really cool.
Yeah, it's good to hear. And a couple of players on the roster we've talked to, or the coach of Direwolves, Felixis, and he was
Mm.
singing praises of Chirp. And
Yeah,
we
I
were
mean he's been
Yeah.
talking,
impressive.
yeah, and we were talking to the coach of GZ, Arsh, and he was singing like the 80
Yep.
carries. Like I keep messing up his name, so I really don't like saying it. He was singing the praises of him as well. So look, I feel like man, I'm getting some good energy, dude.
Yeah,
It could be a
Mm.
banger.
yeah. Dante and
Thank
Chirp
you.
are a special beast, man. Special cats.
I say
I'm
Dante.
Yeah, but keep a watch out. I said Brown, but his in-game name will be Forever.
Mm.
Keep your eye on him this split. He's never played competitive League of Legends before, but
He's
he
rank
is
5.
he's rank 50s. He is
Holy fuck.
he
Yeah.
they do it different over there, man. They do it different.
So
Jeez.
did he come this year to OCE?
Yeah, he's doing uni here in Australia.
Hmm.
And he turned up to the trials. I don't know where he came from. I don't know who he was.
Dude.
Um,
5 months to get rank 5.
I still
Dude, he was
I still need a translator to talk to him sometimes. But he's a grinder, man. His work ethic is second to none. So we'll finish like a 5-hour scrim set, and
dude.
then he'll jump into a voice call with our analyst and another guy that plays over in China, and they'll just like debrief and chat about how he can get better for like another hour. It's incredible.
He's probably like bronze 3 over where he was actually, and he's come over here and he's like, oh, this is chill as fuck.
Yeah, these guys are
He's just
easy.
doing rank 5.
Yeah. So like, yeah, well, keep an eye out for him this split. I'm excited to see what he looks like when he gets into the competitive space.
Mhm.
But even just like he's been doing some really cool stuff. Like when he first met with Hysterics, they had a bit of a chat about, well, his English isn't as good as he would like it to be, and he's even like committed himself to like doing Duolingo multiple times a week just to try and improve for the sake of the team. So, and it's that team cohesion that's been really cool.
Always breeds a good team when you can see the fact there's a little bit of chemistry starting to grow.
Yeah, that's right.
One tough question though. Momentum and like the attitudes coming into a new league is something that's super important. And being the fresh team, the court of public opinion usually kind of like tears teams' mentals apart, especially if they go on Twitter or Reddit or whatever way too much. Your first game, dude, it's against one of the easier teams in the league, let's say.
Yeah, absolute snoozes if you ask me.
Yeah, honestly, God.
Give us a tougher matchup next time, boys. Eh?
Are you worried about that? Because you have a freshy team, you're going in against, let's just say, the granddaddies of OCE. The team must feel stressed. Like if they, I don't want to put any bad juju out there, but like, are you setting expectations of the team that look, we're going out there, we're going to put our best foot in, we're going to make a show, or because
Every granddad's got to bust a hip eventually.
Nice. Like, yeah, no, I say that because being like the fresh team, you're always like worried about what everyone thinks of you, especially like you have someone that I personally don't know top, you have someone I personally don't know in the jungle. They're finally getting their names out there. It might be pretty rough if they take a bad hit. Looks like you have a decent infrastructure to deal with that though.
I think we're under no false illusions that we're going to come out and just absolutely fold Chiefs like a deck chair. Like we're not in that sort of like, but we want to be competitive. And if we're not winning, we want to learn how to not make that happen next time. A lot of the things we've been talking about as a team is how to kind of how to mitigate those small errors that build up into really massive errors in the late game, and just talking about how we mitigate those and how those small errors do make big differences. And it's not like one of those things where in ranked queue you just go, oh well, it doesn't matter, but like those small errors actually do start to add up, especially in pro play, as I'm sure you guys are aware. A tight game can turn into a finished in 20 minutes type game with just a few small mistakes, because it just leads to 2 or 3 Drakes in a row, things like that. So the team's been really working on just kind of mitigating those smaller mistakes so big mistakes don't happen, but also communicating and knowing that you don't actually have to commit to that, or you don't have to, not every fight has to be that all in. But I'm telling you, like the way these guys team fight has been really impressive. Our ability to team scrimmage in the mess in the river has been really good. So we're excited to see how that works. But at the end of the day, we all just want to learn. I want to learn more about professional League of Legends. The players want to learn more about themselves in professional League of Legends. We're all just here to learn. Like we're aware of that. We're not expecting. We're not here with any false illusions that we're going to be the best team in the league. Although we'd like that, and who wouldn't like that? We're understanding that at the end of the day, we're all here just to learn. We're all here to become better versions of ourselves through this split, and the players are like that too.
That's fantastic to hear. Yeah,
That's
no,
awesome,
especially having that learning mentality is huge. Coming in with a couple rookies to shake off the nerves and just be like, look, bang, you could go out there and bang a 6. Honestly, you could hit the ball out of the park, and if you can at least like not go, oh dude, we won, we're the greatest, and like take it back. It's like, all right, look, we still made a butt ton of mistakes. Obviously, they weren't on. What do we got? Nah, good man, good. Would you say that your experience in other esports fields is like helping you like keep your head screwed on with the new LCO team? Even if you're not familiar with League, you still understand team's mentality?
Yeah, well, I was just about to say, one of the things we talk about a lot with our players in Vertex is you always need to be looking as a player to improve your own worth in the esports industry. So, I mean, that's kind of like, that all ties in with things we've done in Counter-Strike, in Call of Duty, and Halo, or whatever those things. It's all about building your worth as a player. Because even the reality of it is, we probably won't have this same roster next year. I don't think that's a harsh thing to say. It's just the reality of the LCO, isn't it? That players and coaching staff and everybody shuffles all the time. So we want to make sure these guys leave worth more than what they were when they came to us, if that makes sense.
I like that. That's actually the big thing that I sort of want to see more in OS in particular, like even in the amateur sort of scene stuff, that it's these orgs are now not about just being a successful org. It's about, and I'm going to don't take this word out of context, but grooming the players to be the best they can be. I can see Corvy's about to have a chuckle. Don't do it, man.
Don't do
Just-
it.
And a word, bro.
Don't do it.
Really
It's not
don't.
worth it.
I said, bro.
So it's like you're prepping these players to just be successful in the game regardless. Corvy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's actually an expectation in our organization that if you play for us, you participate in content. It's not
Ooh,
like
good.
if I feel like it. It's well, if we're paying you, you're making content with us. Whether you feel iffy about it or not, you will be doing it. And we'll find a way to make that content something that's suitable to you, where you feel comfortable. But you don't get a free ride where you just get to scrim and play. That's not how we work. That's not how we operate, and it never will be. So if people are familiar with our Counter-Strike team, you'll know they're pretty funny and they do a lot of content with us. And that's because they don't get just to scrim and play. People don't get a free ride in Vertex. Everyone needs to contribute. And doing things like content it improves your worth as a player as well, because people begin to know you. People begin to feel like they know you a bit more. They feel like they have a bit of a piece of who you are, and it's stuff like that that really adds up. I mean, that's why guys like Why Not, people knew who he was before he before he started playing with Bliss, before he was a permanent fixture in the LCO, because he worked on his own worth outside of the game.
Yeah.
And I love your mentality. Pike and I have been saying this for ages as well. Not only within like the players building their own brand up as well, like that extra content also helps with the entire league and the longevity of like LCO standing inside like Australia esports in general. Like if each player is starting to build up their own brand, we're starting to have decent clashes of like air quote star players. Like when we see like BioPanther go up against someone else who has like a huge ego on Twitter, is like pushing their own brand. It grows themselves and you're at their worth. And it also grows the league that they're competing in. Yeah, I feel like a lot of teams should be having that same mentality. And it's kind of weird because I feel like you're saying exact stuff that Papa Pike and I have talked about on the podcast before. And it's great to see someone who has the ability to influence like a group of 5 players to actually push that. That's really, really, really good.
Yeah, and we love a diverse range of content. Like our Counter-Strike guys have done a bunch of stuff from instructional videos to really funny stuff. To everything in between. Like we like to have fun. We love having fun with our content. We don't like to take ourselves too seriously. We have a content piece coming for our LCO boys that I think people will find really funny. I'm excited.
You're winning me over.
Sorry,
you're winning me over. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm really excited for people to see this one. I think people are going to have a little chuckle, especially if you're maybe a little bit older like myself. You'll know exactly what the reference is from. So I'm really excited for all that stuff. But yeah, we like to have fun. Improve your net worth as a player. It's going to help you in the long run. It makes you more attractive. And because at the end of the day, these guys aren't going to be pro players forever. And it might be for a split. It might be for a couple of years. It might be for 1 year. Who knows? But if you develop enough wealth for yourself in the meantime while you are around, you can be one of those guys like your Tariks or your Hikos or your Ninjas or whoever. You can be one of those guys that post pro play, there's room for you still in the gaming space.
Yeah, he's saying it.
Stop it, man. You're making us too excited.
No, he's just saying everything because it launches the longevity of you inside whatever you're passionate about too. It's like anyone who doesn't. I think what we said is Kyosei or not Kyosei, Kisei. He's so quiet. His whole thing is like too cool for school. He doesn't say much. He goes in, he performs, then nothing. It's like, yeah, it's dope, but like you build that like aura about yourself, and he doesn't do anything outside of that. And he could be a gigastar player if he released any sort of, even if it's short-form content, like you said, a mixture of just like how to play this champion. And it's like a 1-minute clip of like things that he's learned in the Hyela could just like make him from like this notable player, he's really good, to just like that next level of like a name that everyone can keep attributing to him. And even outside of like being a pro player, if he just wants to still be good, I can launch like a streaming career if that's something that interests you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for everyone. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
you said at the start.
I'm not trying to push this narrative where everybody has to everybody should do it because they need to stay around in gaming afterwards. But I mean, a lot of these players do want to stay. Like the dream is that they can play forever. And doing things like content really contributes to that sort of growth and that sort of exposure. So we're just trying to do what's best for the player. If they really want to stay around and play things like League of Legends or whatever it is forever, we want to help them do that, and
I like that.
we provide them with. Of course, the videos are going on our channel, but we edit them. We do everything for them. They just need to participate in the video, and people start to get a bit of a knowledge of who they are. Like some of our Counter-Strike players are the most beloved in the scene now, because they've just become a piece of the community through the content that's produced.
Well, I want to divert again, and this is probably the last thing that I sort of want to pick up, heading towards a lot more of this content. But in regards to like scrims and how you guys are playing and sort of where you guys are going to be moving forward, even though you've said that you're not sort of expecting to be the best team straight off the bat, which me and Corvy probably both agree now that you will be. What I want to ask is, how are you preparing for PCS, which is obviously basically the LCO sort of end game? Are you guys looking at scrimming PCS teams? Are you looking at sort of playing a bit more in that region as well? Because we know that PGG's living in that server as we know, but I feel like that was a bit of their downfall, that they were in that server for too long. What are your sort of movements towards the end of the split, if you can potentially make it to Worlds?
Yeah, look, we're going to play it pretty week by week at the moment and just see where the guys are at. Obviously, PGG do have that fortunate reality that a lot of them are in WA, so it makes it easy to jump over to those other servers. We quite probably don't have that luxury. A lot of our players are over on the East Coast, but yeah, we'll see how we're shaping up towards the end of the split. For now, where our focus isn't really on PCS, our focus is just giving our best to the LCO this split, and giving our best to the fans who. Honestly, I couldn't have dreamed of being received better when the LCO announcement went live that we were joining the league. It was just received so well. There wasn't really any negative comments. It was all really positive stuff. People that know our brand or are familiar with our brand were really excited to see us come on board. So we're just focused on doing well in the league this split, doing well for our fans, and doing well for a lot of the people that really believed in us for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. Okay, awesome.
I think that's a good way to like have your ideas too. You need to get yourself known in LCO first.
Yeah, that's right. We're trying to get some skin in the game, show that we are competitive. Like I said earlier, not here to make up numbers, not here just to participate, but we're here to have a good crack at it and see how far we can go.
Have you made any rivalries yet? Who's your go-to team to beat?
Well, I did say Bliss were friends of ours, but I also did tweet out some rivalry tweets the other week, and I said we're going to fold them like a deck chair when we met up, when we meet.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, so and I stand by that. You know, easy work. Like, you know, why not? Lucky split, last split. It's all good. Lemus,
beginner's luck. The team.
Lemus, never heard of a Lemus. It's all good. But look, we're gonna give it our best crack. We like to have fun, so you're gonna see a lot of Twitter banter from us this split. It's kind of where we come alive is in the banter. So we're really excited for that. But yeah, Bliss I will fold up like an origami piece.
God love you, dude. All right, well, let's kind of just like round out a couple questions about yourself. We can move away from Vertex, the team, and how that's going. Mate, how long you been in esports for?
Too long.
Too long? How like years? Actually, say years. Because you said, yeah, I know a lot of people who played and went pro in Call of Duty.
Yeah,
and they're not young.
I was pro in MW3. And I avidly played for a long time before that. I went through the whole craze of making trick shotting montages on Modern Warfare 2.
So did I.
All that stuff, being there, did that. But I think when I first really got interested in esports, I fell in love with optic gaming, as a lot of people did back then. Nade Shot was like was everything to me. Like he was what it meant to be an esports competitor. And I mean, look what he did for himself. Like, circling back to providing your own net worth as a player. Look what he's done for himself. Like, how far that's taken him.
Yeah, not far at all. Hey.
Yeah, he's doing all right. But yeah, like I've been around for a while, but probably really seriously involved in esports since about Modern Warfare 3, I reckon.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, wow.
Took a big break, came back back in 2019, and then kind of just been slugging away for a little while, but only, like I said, only recently joined Vertex about 2 years ago and been doing a fair bit of work with them since.
Okay, so that was my follow-up question. Well, how long you been in Vertex for?
Mm.
So 2 years.
2 years, yeah. It's been a wild ride. Done some pretty cool stuff. Been to some pretty cool events. We've ran some pretty cool events ourselves. Um, I mean, Jamie, our owner, he's a great guy. He really believes in what we're doing. Um, he really does run so we can walk type thing. Like he's pretty cool like that. He really allows me a lot of creative freedom with Vertex. He kind of says like, "What are we doing?" And I'm telling him, and he's like, "All right, let's do it." Um, so he's
Man,
pretty cool like that. We're surrounded by a really cool group of staff that are willing to give their all for the org and have a good crack. And it's a really great place to be.
honestly, dude, you've sold me. I'm keen on Vertex now.
Hey mate, buy a jersey.
Ah,
Mate,
shut
buy a
up.
jersey.
Nice. Now you remind me so much of the person that ran the amateur org that I was a part of. He was Can Kung Fu was the part of Weekend Warriors. Then we grew that org out, and then we went into basically being a part of Gravitas. And you have like the same attitude as him. And whatever he touched seemed to always work. So man,
Yeah, well,
I'm
we're
very
giving it a go.
yeah. No, I'm really excited to see you guys have a crack. Even
Yeah.
if you're man, look, if you turn it around, this could be like a springboard of your whole split. This first game coming up.
Yeah, you
never
Avert
know.
expectations. People coming the new guys. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, well, if we can't win, we're certainly going to smack talk our way through it. So get ready for that.
Oh man, love to hear it.
Yeah, it's
Mate.
we're gonna be posting memes like we know what we're doing.
Pike,
That
do you have
sounds, but you
anything
sound
to
like you
add?
do know. What?
Yeah, I said, do you have anything to add?
Mate, no,
I'm
he's
out.
talked about everything. Like, the only other thing I would want to talk about is the LCS drama, but I feel like that's just on the other side of the world and we don't have to worry about them.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a hear no evil, speak no evil type thing. I've been burying my head
Yeah,
in the sand with it. I mean, it's the stuff it's sad. Don't get me wrong. Like
it is.
it's unfortunate the way it's kind of progressed. I've been talking to Draco about, like I mentioned, we've been talking a bit, and it's kind of been hard. Like talking to him about it's been it's been hard for him. It's been hard for a lot of people involved. And at the end of the day, like where this isn't just like, although esports is something we all like to enjoy and watch, this is people's careers we're talking about. This is
Mm,
some people have nothing else right now. And so it's one of those things where, unfortunately, not all players have the same stature or image as guys like Double Lift or Bjergsen or whatever that can just drop
mm,
playing League whenever, and they'll be just fine. Like although these players play in the leagues, it's one of those things where it's sad. And
yeah,
esports, I think, is one of those things where every bad thing that happens to it, like these events right now, we come out stronger for it, because it's
mm,
at the end of the day, this industry is so new. Even now, it's
yeah.
so new that every time something like this happens, it's an opportunity for esports to learn, so we become a more sustainable ecosystem after.
Mm.
That's literally my thoughts as well. It's just like every time we've gone through this, like even the OPL technically went through this many years back.
Or order, for example, like when order went
Yeah,
under, that was a great learning experience for a lot of people. That you can have a lot of money invested, but if it's not spent right, you can't just keep spending and
yeah,
hope something works. At the end of the day, you need to have sustainable business models.
yeah. That's it. Because at the end of the day, it is still a business. You got to be running it smart. If you're not making money, you can't sustain it. So no, I totally agree. I think we won't deep dive into it because I could talk for a while because I've been following it pretty hectically. Because again, I just like having my head to the ground and listening about what's going on. But it's just it's crazy what's going on. And I think just at the end of the day, just got to look after our players as best we can because they are what keep us going in esports. Because if you don't have players, you don't have a sport.
Yeah, and I will say this, like not necessarily to plug ourselves, but as an esports ecosystem as a whole, watch the videos your favorite players are in, buy the merchandise that your players wear. It's all stuff like that that helps support the ecosystem and keeps the world going around. And at the end of the day, like an esports jersey really isn't any more than a good T-shirt or a pair of jeans. It's things like that. It's just those little purchases go a long way to supporting the ecosystem, and especially in Oceania, we really need to stick together and support each other.
Yeah.
And I think you'll find a lot of the bigger orgs in the region are actually really good at supporting one another and backing each other. Like, we compete in servers, but we support each other outside the server because we all are well aware that we need each other to survive.
Mm. No, awesome, man. Well, I think that does wrap us up, Corvy, I do believe.
Yeah. I'm out of questions.
Mate, yeah, Charisma, thank you so much for coming on. First episode of season split 2 of Two Summoners, mate. How did you enjoy it? Is there any feedback you'd like to give us real quick before we jump out?
Guys, I loved it. You guys ask really cool questions, and I know you guys are big supporters of the amateur League of Legends team, which I think is super important. It's without amateur League of Legends, we don't get guys like Chirp coming through. We don't get like guys like Style getting the opportunity to coach. It's stuff like that. So without guys like you helping provide that exposure by casting the games, providing that touch of professionalism to games, we don't get the grassroots that we have now. And that's the same for every esport title, whether it be Counter-Strike, Valorant, Call of Duty, all of those things. Without the guys casting the local stuff, the guys casting the grassroots stuff, we don't get more players coming through, and we need this ecosystem to keep feeding into more players coming through and getting their opportunity, and that's what we're about, is providing opportunity.
Well, mate, if you ever need a caster, you got 2 right here.
Yeah,
You send us a message. We'll be around.
Absolutely. I'm loving it.
Our fee's not too high either, I promise.
Oh yeah. Only like $1,000 an hour.
No, I was gonna say 2 Freddo frogs.
And if you're lucky, I'll give you a can of Red Bull.
Oh,
dude, let's go.
You're paying for lunch.
Yeah.
I can eat for a week.
But seriously, guys, thank you so much for having me. It's really cool that you guys took the time out to give Vertex the opportunity to kind of have a voice. And like I mentioned with the content thing, we hope you guys get to and whoever watches this gets the opportunity to get to know our players a little bit better through our content this split. We're excited to be on board, and we're excited to kind of bring a whole new fan base on board with us.
Good to hear it, man. Lovely to have you on board.
Awesome, dude.
Welcome to the LCO, hey?
Oh, I will say one more thing. We're better than Direwolves.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I was about to say, when I said, do you have any people in the league? I was expecting you to go Direwolves.
We hate anything that's an animal, so we hate Direwolves and we hate Kanga and Mammoth. I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
Right, you don't say that.
It's a joke until we verse them. Then I do hate them. They're mortal enemies.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
all right, well, thank you so much, man. Take it easy.
Peace. All right. And that was the interview. That was fantastic. I really liked talking to him.
Dude, that was awesome. Like, it was nice to get someone who wasn't also from like just a League of Legends background.
Yeah,
He's been in other stuff as well. Like, he's been in COD, like he's played CS, like he's just been all over it. So really awesome to have someone from a different esports area coming into League. So phenomenal.
Yeah, and that experience that he's picked up over the 10 billion years he's been in League in esports is really starting to show. Like, he sounds like he really has set ideas on what he wants the team to go. He seems like he's built up, and it's something that really, from that interview, that stood out is they're not just doing the 1 coach 5 players thing. They have a lifestyle coach. They're thinking about bringing on an analyst as well. Well, they have an analyst. Like, they have a full infrastructure team, which is something we're saying that we need.
And they even have I think Hysterics was their actual
lifestyle coach.
He was their lifestyle coach, which is big because he's been in esports also for I was going to say 1 billion years. I don't want to disrespect him like that. But he's been around for so long. Like, he obviously knows what's the best practices, how to be the best as well. LPL caster, he obviously watches those guys on a daily basis doing the best thing they can. So he's learning from the best region, bringing it to O. So I'm all for that, man.
It's really good. Like, I haven't had like a really good feel from like the new teams. I don't want to throw shade on Bliss or GZ, but like, I feel like they really have a solid idea and set goals that they want to achieve. And they have a really good like head on their shoulders in management. They seem they've built a decent team. Like, I'm really excited to see a couple of those names that got dropped.
Dude, I want to see Brown. I want to see Brown so bad.
Brown.
So now we get to call him Brown, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's forever." I'm like, "Nah, it's Brown. It's just Brown.
Your boy Brown." Love him.
All right, well, that is the end of the episode. First one. We have gone a little bit over time, but I think that's okay.
And always does on the first couple.
Yeah, well, we're trying to get back into the gist of it. I definitely felt out of sorts on it.
Really? Oh man, I really like that interview.
Oh, I love the interview. I just felt out of sorts. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I didn't bring my A game. Could be the full-time work. Could be... Nah, it's probably the full-time work.
Man, I just didn't even see it. I think you're just the greatest.
Oh, thanks, man. We'll
I
just start
didn't
casting
mean
some.
it. No, I'm kidding. Because I
So
meant
it's so this split. I said it was going to be nice to Corvy, but it's mean to Pike. I see how it is.
I can finally
You
get
know
my
what?
shots in.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna be the big man. Corvy doing a great job. But all right, let's end it there, man.
All right. Have a
Also,
good week,
fuck you.
everybody. Have a good week, everybody.
All right, take it easy, guys. See you on the next adventure. Peace.